If you're a Falcons fan, brace yourself. Because what's happening now isn't just about scouting talent or adjusting a depth chart, it's about legacy, it's about identity, and it's about a defense on the verge of reinvention, possibly with one last nod to the past before moving fully into the future. A storm is building over Flowery Branch. At the center of it, whispers of a franchise legend considering stepping away, the kind of name that doesn't just show up in box scores but in memories. You know the type, the kind that defined Sundays, the kind that made you believe in fourth quarters and improbable comebacks. We're not saying names yet. That moment will come. But hold it in your chest for now, a legacy in the balance, while a new name hovers on the horizon. The Nickel Fix. No one's talking about Raheem Morris and GM Terry Fontenot know what they're doing. This isn't a team aimlessly throwing darts at a free agency board. They're looking for value, for tone setters, for players who don't blink in the fourth quarter, and according to ESPN's Matt Bowen, Mike Hilton fits the bill. Let's rewind for a second. Mike Hilton, undrafted out of Ole Miss, has never had anything handed to him. But in 8 NFL seasons, he's built a resume that screams impact. 10 career interceptions, 47 tackles for loss, and the kind of slot defender who plays like a linebacker in a cornerback's body. He spent 4 years each in Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, both blue-collar defenses that ask you to earn your paycheck every snap, and he's done just that. Ask his teammates, ask his coaches. Hilton plays with urgency. He sees the game in fast forward and moves like he's got something to prove. Every single down, the weak link that must be fixed. Let's not sugarcoat it. Atlanta's nickel package was a sore spot last season. While A.J. Terrell and Mike Hughes did their best to keep things tight outside, the middle of the field was a revolving door. D'Alfred, as serviceable as he was at times, gave up 6 touchdowns in coverage. That's not survivable in the NFC South. Clark Phillips had flashes, and they were exciting, but he's still raw. Meanwhile, rookie Billy Bowman out of Oklahoma has big play instincts. 4 pick sixes in college, but you're rolling the dice if you ask him to anchor the slot from day one. That's where Mike Hilton comes in. He's not a gamble. He's a pro's pro, someone who can step in and bring stability, aggression, and vision to a defense that needs all 3 at that position. A collision of eras. Here's where it gets poetic. As the Falcons possibly prepare to say goodbye to a name etched in franchise lore, they're also laying the groundwork for what comes next. It's not just about nostalgia, it's about building something that lasts. And Mike Hilton might be one of those glue guys who helps make that transition seamless. This is more than roster moves, it's a story about evolution, grit, and the kind of decisions that define regimes. So stay with us. This is a fresh take, a new chapter, one you haven't heard before. Because as Atlanta retools, it does so with one eye on the past, and both feet planted firmly toward what's next. The Falcons played more snaps with 3 corners on the field than almost anyone in the league last season, over 700 reps each for their top trio. That stat doesn't just jump out, it screams a need. You better have 3 corners who can hold their ground. Right now, Atlanta has 2 they trust. They need a third. Mike Hilton could be that missing link, not just a body to fill space, but a player who brings experience, attitude, and a bit of fear for slot receivers lining up across from him. Picture C.D. Lamb or Chris Olave getting jammed off the line, forced inside toward linebackers who actually have time to react. That's the Hilton effect. But this decision, like so many in the NFL, isn't just about X's and O's, it's about timeline, direction, identity. Do the Falcons lean into their youth movement or plug in a battle-tested 31-year-old for a 1-year patch? The case for Hilton: stability now, legacy later. Let's call it what it is. Hilton is a pragmatic move. Not flashy, not long-term, but smart. He's affordable. He's durable. He's productive. Last year, he tallied 62 tackles and 2 interceptions for the Bengals, thriving in Lou Anarumo's zone-heavy scheme. It's almost a mirror of what Raheem Morris runs in Atlanta. So no learning curve, just plug and play. In 2024, Atlanta's secondary bled points. The Falcons ranked 28th in passing touchdowns allowed, and the slot position was a turnstile. Dalford tried and failed to hold that ground. It cost the team. Hilton wouldn't just plug the gap. He'd elevate the room. He'd mentor Clark Phillips. He'd help Billy Bowman understand spacing, tempo, and angles. And maybe, just maybe, he makes that one play in Week 12 that shifts the season's momentum. You know the kind. We've seen it before in Atlanta. Those game-swinging moments that burn into memory. A red zone pick, a deflected pass, a strip fumble. You give him the jersey and he gives you one more unforgettable Sunday. The case against Hilton. Growth requires reps. But there's a different argument taking shape in the front office. Terry Fontenot is under pressure. No playoff appearances since 2017, and that first-rounder traded away for 2024 didn't bear fruit the way it should have. The fan base remembers. The critics are circling, so maybe the only way out isn't with patchwork. Maybe it's with bold trust. Clark Phillips, at just 23, showed flashes. 5 pass breakups in limited snaps. And Billy Bowman? 13 interceptions in college. He sees the ball like it owes him something. What if handing them the reins this year leads to something more durable than a short-term fix? What if Hilton slows their growth? Because here's the truth. Every franchise corner once looked raw. Once struggled in camp, once missed assignments in Week 1, and then they learned. They grew. They took over. That's the kind of leap that builds dynasties, not just wins. An insurance policy in the shadows. And yet, there's a third path. The NFL calendar is long. Camp surprises everyone. Injuries happen, youth struggles. If the kids can't hold the line, Mike Hilton will still be there. August, September. Whenever the call needs to be made, the veteran lifeline is a dial away. It's smart roster building, contingency planning with experience, a farewell echoing through time. And remember that unnamed Falcons legend from earlier? Imagine this. He announces his retirement just as a new season begins. The same week Mike Hilton arrives to help anchor a defense. One story ends. Another begins. That's football. That's the beauty of it. Every exit is an entrance for someone else. Let's start with a moment that tugs at every Falcons fan's heartstrings. This isn't about just any player retiring, it's about a wide receiver who redefined Falcons football for over a decade. A first-round pick who turned the Georgia Dome into his personal stage, dazzling us with acrobatic catches and game-breaking runs that still live in our memories. Think about those 80-yard touchdown sprints, the sideline ballets that left defenders grasping at thin air, and those clutch grabs that sent the crowd into a frenzy. Over 11 seasons, 6 Pro Bowls, and a franchise record for receiving yards, his career wasn't just about numbers. It was about grit, passion, and setting a standard that still fuels this team. Moments that defined an era. Remember 2010? The year he broke out, torching defenses for over 1,300 yards. That season set the tone for what would become a decade of Falcons dominance. Or the unforgettable 2012 playoff moment, snagging a contested fade in tight coverage over 2 defenders to seal a critical victory. His legacy isn't captured solely in stats. It's in the fire he brought every game, the belief he inspired in teammates and fans alike. This retirement isn't just an end, it's a rallying cry for Atlanta's future. From legend to new beginnings now, why does this matter in our current free agency hunt? Because legends don't just leave, they cast shadows that challenge us to find the next spark. Our retiring star had games with 250 yards receiving, out-jumping all-pro linebackers like it was routine. That's the kind of impact the Falcons need to replicate. Enter Hilton, not a wideout like our legend, but a relentless force in the slot, chasing down receivers and making plays with hustle that feels like a nod to that golden era. This isn't about replacing a legend, it's about building on his foundation. The bridge to a new era. Fontino's roster now sits at 90 players, and Hilton could be the crucial piece that connects past glory to future triumphs. Just like our hero's clutch plays sparked playoff runs, Hilton's tenacity might steady the defense while our young core grows. Our secondary has gaps, and with Penn at the helm, every defensive stop counts more than ever. Hilton might not be the flashiest name on the market, but he's a pragmatic bridge, steadying the defense as Phillips and Bowman develop, just like our legends steadied the offense for young quarterbacks before. The stakes are monumental. What's on the line here? Everything. Fontino's seat is hot. Another 7-10 win season and the pressure will be unbearable. But nail this. Hilton locking down the slot, Penn launching passes to draft gems like Drake London and Jalen Walker at 15, then suddenly Atlanta isn't just playoff hopefuls. We're contenders. This is more than a signing. It's Atlanta honoring a legend's grit by injecting a new hero's hustle. Hilton's arrival could be that spark, like the sideline snag in 2017 that flipped a game and defined a season. Fail, and we get stuck in the shadows of morning glory days. Succeed, and we write the next chapter with that icon spirit cheering us on every step of the way.